All right, inserting our another framing segment here. You can see some scabs in there on our rat runs and a patched together wall here that I put back together. So I don't know that I ever mentioned it on a video, but I came out a couple weeks ago and found that when I was checking for garage door measurements, found these two middle posts were out about 1.5 inches. I had to frame that wall that day, so I did, and as I framed it, it just wandered out at a full 1.5 inches going up. And so I had a couple people look at it, and I was afraid like the whole structure was messed up. And I didn't sleep well the last few nights. I thought, well, I'll just frame out this whole interior or something. I don't know. It bothered me because everything else on the house is pretty dialed in, I feel like, other than, you know, some nuances. But a builder friend, a really good builder friend, came by and from Viking Construction here in the Valley. And he's like, oh. And so he goes, let's just cut all your truss runs, your cords or your rat runs or whatever, 1.5 inches, zip, zip, zip. And then we used two, I happen to have these in the trailer. My good ones are in the storage unit, but these are just two cheap Harbor Freight clamps. And we just clamped, so we cut there. And then we just clamped the two trusses together. And we had set our string line again up here. And we just clamped. And we worked our way across. Just closing, and that wall just went bloop, pulled right in. And then we just scabbed back and then added some more bracing as well. So it's perfectly vertical now. It was really simple. I mean, it took us an hour. And in my mind, I was like, the whole house is screwed up. So anyway, Harbor Freight hand clamps to the rescue. I had my come along out and a big ratchet strap. Someone suggested I anchor a come along to that wall and this wall and but my friend Dave was just like, no, that wall just by its nature is flexible, and so just cut your anchors and then anchor it, and then it'll just pull right in, so with hand clamps. So it did. Anyway, interesting little aside, things you learn when you're building your own house. Something else I don't think I've shown either. My wife went and bought this used front door. It's a heavy solid wood, and they had painted it with something nasty, so she put stripper and stuff on there and got most of it off. And then she's gonna sand it all back down and then stain it. And that'll be our front door, so. More work than I'd put into it. I said I should buy one from Home Depot. But it'll look nice. She does a good job with those wood doors. All right, back to little projects, and I'm holding off on wiring today. I'm not sure. The other thing I'm doing is running this 3/4 inch pipe as conduit for our high-speed internet. It'll come into right at the meter box, and I need to have this conduit popping out near the meter box. I have orange tubing running with the conduit for the power, the internet provider out to the corner, coming to the house. Hopefully that makes sense. And then they'll come in, put their own box on the outside of the house, and then zip their really thin line through this guy wherever I run it. And I think I'm just gonna run it up here into the utility room so that we can have our router just sitting in here. I think it'll be all right in a 60 by 36 house to sit right here rather than out in the middle. So that's what I'm gonna do, get under there and clip it to the bottom of the deals and just run it over into here. All right, back into the dungeon. Run this conduit. Just in time, you can help. All right, looks good. Internet conduit rolls right across the bottom of the trusses. I'm gonna go get a sawzall and cut off some of that pipe. This is too much. All right, so we're up and out. I'll probably mount it in this wall somehow so that it sticks out, and they'll drywall around it. And they'll come in and mount their box, pull the wire into it, and then we'll probably put a shelf here with the router on it. And the other end of it is back here. It's back here. So on the other house, their boxes were about that far apart there. So anyway, in the trench, they want us to have a separation, but once they got to the house, they pulled them up close together. So I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me.